A child as little as 2 years old from Algeria memorized the whole Quran. What a miracle. There are thousands of Muslims who are blind that memorize the whole Quran. And there are millions of Muslims today around the world speaking different languages who memorized the whole Quran. But how did they possibly do such a thing? What did they all do to become Huffaz? What can I do so I don't forget what I've memorized? And I hear some of you saying, but I can't read Arabic. How am I supposed to memorize almost 78,000 words? That's why I will share with you a powerful yet simple method to help you memorize fast towards the end of the video. All these people used these 3 major hacks I'll talk about today. For those who watch till the end, there will be a dua for you to ease memorization and to lock what you have already memorized. Let's introduce Ahmed. He is a person like you who wants to memorize the whole Quran. Ahmed will do all 3 hacks and let's see if you can spot them. Just like every person, Ahmed has a busy life. He goes to college and hardly has any free time to spend. His schedule is so tight, and if he wastes time, he might fail his classes, which will make him fail his exams. Whenever he's driving, there's a lot of time being wasted. So what he does is he turns on a recitation of the page he's trying to memorize. While driving back home, he does the same thing. He turns on the same page he's memorizing. After he finished his work, he opened the page in the Quran and read it. There were no pauses while he was reading, no mistakes at all. He felt accomplished after knowing the power of just listening to the Quran, so he kept repeating just that. Every day before Ahmed slept, he would keep rereading the page he listened to while driving, working, studying, or even walking. One night before he was going to sleep, he opened an app on his phone and started to read the translation of the verses, and realized that when he began to understand the meaning of the verses, he started to correctly place the verses chronologically. He finished one verse and immediately recited the next with ease. Ahmed started saving hours of time memorizing the Quran by using these tricks and was spending around 10 minutes each night just reciting the verses he set himself before he would finally memorize them. I just plugged in 3 tricks that millions of Muslims who are Huffaz of the Quran do. Let's run them back quickly. Number 1. Listen to your set verses constantly. You won't believe how much easier it gets when you listen to something multiple times on repeat. You can listen to it while you're doing literally anything from driving all the way to cooking. Especially for those of you who don't speak Arabic, it familiarizes you with the phonetics. Number 2. Have a daily set stone schedule. People say consistency is key, but without consistency in Quran memorization, it is nearly impossible to memorize the whole Quran. What do I mean by consistency? You have to set a distinct time during the day that is most suitable for you, the quietest time, whatever it might be, for you to just sit down and focus on your Quran. This time cannot be replaced with any other activity. When it was asked to the greatest Huffaz, the Shuyukh who dedicated their lives 60 to 70 years to memorizing the Quran, they all agree on this one thing: commit yourself to the Quran. Following the Prophet's advice, read Quran regularly. Even if you can't memorize your verses for one day, as long as you read, it will go a long way. Number 3. Understand the meanings. There are many stories in the Quran, and by memorizing the verses, you can make sense of what verses go where, and you will be better off reciting. The Prophet ﷺ said, "The one who is devoted to the Quran will be told on the day of resurrection, recite the Quran and ascend in ranks as you used to recite when you were in the world. Your rank will be at the last verse you recite. So for each verse you memorize, your rank in Jannah will increase." The Prophet ﷺ also said, "One who is proficient in reciting the Quran is associated with the noble, pious angel scribes. As for he who stammers when reciting the Quran and finds it difficult for him, he will be granted a double reward." If you just can't seem to memorize anything from the Quran, then just have a consistent time every day where you just read. You can start off with something very simple like reading a page, and day after day, you will see yourself wanting to read more, and with repetition, you might even memorize some of what you've read. Here's a simple method for memorization. People who don't speak Arabic will find this most beneficial. Read the first line 10 times. Repeat the line to yourself. Then read the next line 10 times. Repeat the line to yourself. Now read these 2 lines together 3 times. Repeat these 2 lines to yourself. Read the third line 10 times. Repeat the line to yourself. Now read the 3 lines together 3 times. Repeat these 3 lines to yourself. Continue doing this to the end of the page. Now read the page 20 times. If you have trouble with a word read the word with the word before it and the word after it 10 times. Then repeat to yourself. Then read the whole line 10 times to yourself. And if this method is easy for you, you can decrease the repetitions proportionally. So instead of reading the first line 10 times, read it 5 times, then the second line 5 times, etc. I just want to end with this dua. Inshallah, this will help you memorize and lock what you have already learned. Allahumma ij'al al-Qur'ana rabi'a qalbi wa nura sadri. Allahumma a'inni an nafsi. O Allah, make the Qur'an the spring of my heart, the light of my chest. Help me against my evil soul. Allah has promised He made the Quran easy to memorize. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. And we have certainly made the Quran easy to remember. So is there anyone who will be mindful? Just don't pressure yourself. Don't let yourself be frustrated and believe in Allah. Stay patient and keep learning. Assalamu alaikum.